Hey Pitmasters, what is up? Today we're going to compare a beef T-bone to a pork T-bone. Look at this beautiful beef T-bone. Oh man, look at the fat cap and the marbling. It gets me all excited. I want to grill it and I want to eat it. But what? What if, just what if, this pork T-bone is just as good as the beef T-bone? Would you agree? If you look at this pork T-bone, it's got a lot of fat and a lot of marbling, and it actually looks really good. We're going to grill it in the exact same way as we're going to grill our beef T-bone, and then we're going to find out which one actually tastes better. And of course now we need to fire up our barbecue so we can start grilling. We fired up our grill, it's getting hot and we're ready to sear our pork and our beef. But before we do that, I want to talk about the benefits that I found online of pork. Apparently pork has per serving less calories than beef. Pork has per serving less fat than beef. So these are all things that are a big advantage for pork. It's easier to digest apparently than beef, which is fantastic, right? So these are big plus points. And nowadays pork is healthy. So it used to be like a filthy animal. We thought of pork as something that was roaming around the village and was eating the waste that people had. Maybe you had it in the back of your farm and you would throw out anything that you wouldn't eat yourself and had the pork eat it. You would eat the pork and you would have to cook it properly because it had worms and stuff like that. So pork that is now raised for consumption by the pork industry, they have been fed with high quality food and there are no worms in there anymore. The pork doesn't get contaminated. So we can actually eat it raw. And the Germans have been doing it for a long time. Ever heard of Mettbrötchen? It really is a popular thing to eat in Germany and we can eat our pork raw. I can eat it raw right now. Just like I would eat this beef raw, no problem. I'm gonna eat the pork raw as well. There we go. Really good, tastes like pork. I don't know. A lot of flavor in there. Let's compare it to raw beef, right? Both have good, high quality flavor. There's a lot of flavor in both of them. Pork is not less than beef when eaten raw. I think actually pork is a little bit sweeter and you gotta get used to that raw pork taste a little bit, just like you have to get used to raw beef taste. But when you eat it, I think you might actually enjoy it. Let's take a look at our grill, see if it's nice and hot. Oh yeah, look at that. Whew. I'm gonna take the opportunity and carve out the outside of this beautiful beef. I just wanna get a little bit of carving into that fat so it will open up and it's gonna render down a little bit more easy. And even though we're going to season our steak afterwards, I want to get a little bit of salt in that fat. So when it renders down, at the same time it will crispen up. Now we'll do the same for our pork. Get it right in there in between those edges. Now let's get our beef on the grill. Now our pork is going on. Now the grill is hot and the grill grates are hot. So we want to make sure that we keep moving that steak around and that it doesn't burn. We're going to put the fat cap down and maximize the flavor. We got a nice bit of sear on the outside of our pork T-bone. We're going to let it rest and now focus on our beef T-bone. I'm making sure that we got a nice crust on the outside and we'll let the temperature come up to a core temperature of 54 degrees Celsius. I'm putting in the deflector plates, making sure we got only indirect heat left. I'm also going to put my pork T-bone back in and let it come up to temperature together with our beef T-bone. I want to check the core temperature on my pork T-bone because it's a lot thinner. I want to make sure that we don't overcook it. Oh, we're at 53 already. Time to take it off and let it rest. I'm putting a little bit of tin foil over it. It's cold outside and it's going to cool down really quick and we want to prevent that from happening. While our beef steak is still getting up to temperature over indirect heat, we are going to work on our sauce. Look at this beautiful Parmesan that we got. It looks absolutely gorgeous. It's like snow. I was watching a video from Alex, the French guy, the other day, and he had a sauce made of Parmesan cheese, and I thought, this is the best. I need to have this sauce on my steak. So that's what we're going to make. I boiled some water on my little stove here, and it's ready to go in. The hot water that's going to melt the Parmesan. This is going to taste amazing. Just boiling water. Don't do anything other than boiling water. Otherwise you're screwing up the flavors from the Parmesan cheese. Now we'll put in some fresh ground pepper. And I like a lot of pepper. If you don't like pepper that much, just use a little bit less. Now let's do a quick taste test, shall we? There we go. This is so pure. This is really good, and it's going to be really good with our pork, that's for sure. And it's going to be also amazing on beef. It's rich and creamy, and there's this little fruitiness from the pepper. Really good sauce to have. So while we are slicing our pork, I just want to keep my sauce warm, and I put it in the barbecue with the beef steak. Now, without further ado, let's slice into this beautiful pork T-bone. We just need a little bit of salt on our pork T-bone because we're going to have that great cheese sauce to go on top with it. Now we'll slice this up. Look at how juicy that pork is. Now the reason that this pork is so juicy because we only cooked it to 54 degrees Celsius, which you would normally do with a steak. And look how good it looks. That is how you need to compare pork to beef. Let's give this a try. That is some seriously tasty pork. And that pork fat. Oh man, I gotta have another bite. There we go. This is like heaven. This is just as good as any other beef steak. Of course, it's pork. It tastes different than beef, but it's really tasty and it's really juicy. Let me get our sauce off. There we go. Now we're going to put on our beautiful Parmesan cheese sauce. There we go. Look at that. I'm so excited about this. I can't stop smiling. This is some serious comfort food. Wow. Absolutely fantastic. Who says beef is better than pork? This pork T-bone steak is shining. Oh man, it's really good. A slice for the cameraman, right? Let's see what he thinks.
Unbelievable.
This is good, right? Let me check the temperature on our T-bone. Yep, 52 degrees Celsius. Let me take it off the grill. Boom. Look at our beautiful beef T-bone. It's almost majestic. The crust, you can smell it from here. It's really good. And I can't wait to start tasting it. But we gotta let it rest first. And then I want to compare it to the pork. See if it blows the pork out of the water or that it's just as good. So we rested our steak for 10 minutes. Look at that. She's ready for us to be devoured. It just makes me happy. Let's sprinkle on some salt. And again, not too much. The cheese is gonna be salty enough. Let's slice up this steak. Look at how good this steaks look. It looks juicy, it's got a nice crust on the outside, and the fat has crispened up. What more can you wish for? Let's give it a try. I want one of those crispy bits. There we go. Cheers, guys. This is some good beef. Tasty, really good. Let me get a better piece for you. Here, give this a try, brother. Now, tell me that this tastes better than the pork.
Not so sure.
Well, our steak is juicy. We got a beautiful crunch on the outside, and that fat, it crispened up. It's really good, but if I compare it to the pork, it's not better than the pork. It's a different flavor. It's the beef flavor, but it's not stronger flavor than the pork. It's not, I don't know, it's not a higher level than pork. It's not, I can't say it's better. And to my preference, it's equal. And I think my cameraman would agree. Yeah, basically it's just as good. So now let's put some sauce on and then do the comparisons again. Look what happened to our sauce. The cheese all got molten, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but that's not what our sauce is intended for. There we go, with a little bit of our cheese sauce. And our cheese sauce definitely didn't improve, but look at how juicy that steak is. Now I'm gonna have to draw a conclusion here, which is pork has a lot of benefits. Low in calories, low in fat, all kinds of good stuff. And if you treat it like beef and you cook it the right way, which is just making it rare or medium rare, it will taste the same as beef does, just as juicy, just as good. Maybe in some cases even better. And this is something that we gotta keep in mind when we judge on pork. And I have to change my thinking as well, because I get excited when I talk about steak and I don't get as excited when I talk about pork steak. But I think in the future I might need to change that, because a pork steak can be just as tasty. Keeping in mind that a pork steak costs around a fourth or half the price that a beef steak would cost, then it's very interesting to do this test. And you gotta make sure that you get the right pork. It's not coming out of someone's backyard and it has worms in it. That's something to consider, but if you get the right product and talk to your butcher about it, then you can definitely cook it up to a rare temperature. And well, you can have that same delicious, juicy experience that I just had. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe video, and if you did, then leave me a big thumbs up and a comment down below. This is not a recipe video, this is a beef battle, it's a comparison. Well, if you liked it, if you liked the video, and if you liked the test that we did, then leave us a big thumbs up and a comment down below. And of course, I want to have your opinion. I want to know what you think about this test. I want to know what you think. I think everybody's gonna say, hey, beef all the way. But if you get the opportunity, do the test yourself. You will find that it's gonna be amazing, it's exhilarating. And well, as always, a big thank you to our Patreons and our YouTube members for supporting what we're doing here. It's very, very much appreciated. And give us a big thumbs up. And the thumbs up that's on this video are not for me, but our Patreons. So see you guys next time. Until then, keep on grilling and eet smakelijk.